Hi, welcome to this G.I. Joe toy review, where today we will be looking at Hardtop, the G.I. Joe Defiant mechanic and operating driver. And before we get to our review, let's go ahead and do our usual shout outs of the week. And today we're actually going to start with Healing Grace Counseling Service, uh, changing hearts and changing lives, reaching hearts and changing lives. Held by the very close friend of mine, Dr. Robert C. Brown. He's not really a licensed doctor, but he'll tell you he plays one on TV. But you can find him at healinggrace.com or healinggracecounseling.com, as well hotmail.com is his email address. And he's on 133 West Pascowan Street here in Winchester. So go ahead and get a hold of him if you need to. He's a really good counselor. He knows his stick. He knows what he's got to do. Or I shouldn't say what he's got to do, but he knows what to do to reach you and help you out with every situation you're in. So go ahead and check him out. Next, we're going to do one of my favorite stores, Time Traveler Toys and Collectibles. And they are located on 115 South Loudon Street, which is actually right down the street from Healing Grace Community Services. It's like about 3 blocks. So go ahead and check these guys out. Go and see Charles and Jack. They got everything from He-Man to Transformers to G.I. Joe to Thundercats, and you name it, they have it. So go ahead and check them out. And while you're in the Walking Mall, go over to 41 South Loudon Street and check out backtothemedia.com, where you can get your video game needs dating all the way back to the Atari. And they also do so like Funko Pops and little odds and ends and whatnot. So go ahead and check them out. Both of them are great stores. And if you need your comic book fix, like I do at time to time, go to Four Color Fantasies over at 88 Weems Lane, or 80 Weems Lane. So go ahead and check them out. You know, they're a really good comic store. They're good for cosplay and role playing and whatnot, and so on and so forth. So go ahead and check them out. So let's take a look at our Defiance operator. And we're going to start with the file card, where it says the Space Vehicle Launch Operator, codename Hardtop. File name, Kylis Nicholas D. Primary military specialty is electronics engineer. Secondary military specialty is heavy equipment operator. His birthplace is Chicago, Illinois, and he's E6. Hardtop is the space vehicle launch operator for the Defiant Space Shuttle. He designed and drives the shuttle's massive crawler transporter, one of the largest self-powered land vehicles in the world. He also oversees the repairs and upgrades from engines, exhausts, brakes, hydraulics, and computers to the vehicle's defense weapon systems. When the tracked vehicle reaches its assigned destination, he uses the crawler's laser guidance and leveling system from the control cab and coordinates with the mission engineers and astronauts to initiate launch protocols. If you tell Hardtop to move something at the top of the mountain, he doesn't ask how to get there, why it has to be there, or even what the mountain is. He just gets it there. What? No road up that mountain? Hardtop will make his own road. No level clearing on top. There will be soon, just don't get in his way. He is a man of few words, but one who possesses superior intelligence and commitment. The quote at the bottom says, a nod and a handshake says, I'll take the job. So that really tells him as pretty much being a no-nonsense, get the job done, just let me do my thing and get out of my way kind of person. Which is a good person to have in the U.S. military or any military around the world. You need one of them just to do it, especially if you're defending our country and so on and so forth. So let's take a look at the rest of his accessories, which are not that many, but he does have some very practical and very useful equipment for his trade. Starting out with his figure stand, which has the G.I. Joe upraised logo, hardtop on the top. Pretty used standard. I think he also comes with this little pistol right there on it, and a nice little pistol. He also comes with his wrench, so that way he could be fixing the Defiance crawler system. Working on that engine. He also comes with a little briefcase, highly detailed. It doesn't open like the other G.I. Joe briefcases, which is okay with me. It's pretty cool. And kind of reminds me of the old briefcases that came with G.I. Joe figures back in the day, where they just set them down and you could just pretend that they opened them and show them the cash for the Cobra side, or show them all the documents and plans that they got for G.I. Joe side. So let's look at Hardtop, starting with the paint and color features and apps on this cool looking figure. Starting off with this white hard helmet, which is not removable, but it's cool. Gotta have a hard hat. When you're working on a crawler the size of the Defiance crawler. He's got his little white jumpsuit straps that goes on the back and around the front. Nice little web gear. And he's got his blue mechanic suit uniform with a black watch in one hand. All the white little details. Comes down to his white boots with the blue paint apps on them. I think this is a really good look for him. Especially for who the figure is. Excuse me, y'all. But let's take a look at his articulation. Head does have an up and down movement to it, as you can see. Does rotate the full 360. If anybody ever needs that, need an exorcist if you can actually do that for real. His arm goes up to about here. And his arm can rotate the full 360. As well as he bends at the elbow joint. And he can rotate at the bicep. As well as swivel at the wrist. He does have the ab crunch feature, but it's hard to maneuver it with the web gear that he's got on. It's hardly noticeable. Come down to his hips. He's got standard T-hook hips. Could, sit there and do a split about that far. You lift his leg about 90 degrees. Like majority of the modern era figures, he does have a double knee joint. He does have the ankle pivot, and he can rotate his ankle a full 360. So let's go ahead and look at Hardtop all geared up, ready for action. And here's Hardtop in all his glory, geared with his wrench and his ankle holster with his pistol and his briefcase. I think this is a really good looking figure. He makes his first comic book appearance in issue number 59 or 60 with Payload, who I reviewed last week, who is also another good looking figure. No animated appearances, unfortunately, in both the Deke and the Sunbow animated comic or cartoon. I think they would have made the Defiance and Payload and Hardtop would have made a good addition to the cartoons, either version, either animation studio. But it's pretty cool anyway. But my thoughts of Hardtop is a really, really good looking figure. It's actually a very beautiful figure. And I'm glad to have this in my collection. And I would definitely rank this figure as a top tier figure. It's very, very awesome, very, very detailed. The weapons are with him just having the pistol and him having the wrench and the briefcase, it fits. And like I said, it is a really, really awesome figure. Awesomely detailed. Weapons and the accessories are actually perfect to fit this figure. So definitely he would be a top tier figure. And for vintage reviews of him, you can check out 4MBX257. And then there's quite a other that does updated modern figures like McDowell and Sanitarian Productions, I do believe, does one on Hardtop. Joe Fan 82, I think. But go ahead and check those videos out just to make sure. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know in my comment sections down below. But tune in next week as we do his hard hat brother, so to speak, as we do the G.I. Joe construction worker and end out the Village People Month with the G.I. Joe construction worker and bridge layer driver tow booth. So go ahead and check this video out next week. This has been Hardtop. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and always remember here at Cobra Island, now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Yo, Joe, or Cobra, whatever you do, whatever you feel like better. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your upcoming Thanksgiving next week. Have a good weekend, and see y'all in the next one.